Number one, don't overlook red flags. There was one night where I realized I should not have been dating the girl who I was with. It was about 3.5 years ago. I had just started seeing this girl. We'd been going out for about 3 weeks, going on dates, going to parties, and like living that college life kind of together, having some fun. By the way, this is a girl I was with in the past, not the girl I'm currently with right now. I just wanted to make that clear. Um, and so there was this one night where I actually couldn't go out and party with her and all of our friends because I had to DD for all the guys in my fraternity. And so I was just, driving people around, kind of being like a taxi for everyone. And then at the end of the night, I go to the party to pick up some of my friends and take them home. And I saw that she was dancing with another guy. Now, at the moment, I was kind of saying to myself, justifying it, oh, it's really not a big deal. Oh, it's okay. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, they're probably just having a good time. La, 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 la. Whatever, didn't really think much of it. Then fast forward about 4 months. I'm in the locker room at my football practice, and some of my friends come up and they talk to me. And so I had just started posting that I was with this girl, right? We had just kind of started like making our relationship public, and they come up and tell me, hey, we know that you're dating this girl. We know that you're with her, but, we just kind of thought you should know this. They ended up telling me that she had actually went home with this guy. My gut instinct was telling me, oh, don't worry about it too much. But honestly, bro, like, that was just so gut wrenching. Like to just like think about that. And the truth is, if I had known that that happened, right, I would have probably never gotten in that relationship in the first place. And like, dude, it hurts so bad. So the lesson from that was just like, trust your gut instinct. If you have a feeling that something's up or something's just not right, listen to that. Then there was also another time when I took her on a family vacation. This was about 3 or 4 months later after this last incident. And she opened up her Snapchat and I saw like another guy's name there. So I was getting really weirded out about it, but we were on a road trip. So the whole rest of the drive, I just, didn't say anything because we're like in the car with my family. I'm not going to like talk about that in front of them. But then we get to the place where we were going and I brought it up. I said, hey, I saw that you were like texting this guy. Like, what's the deal with that? And she just told me, oh yeah, he's just a friend. Like it's, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. So I said, whatever, like, okay, just not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Now, fast forward about 3 weeks later, one day we were hanging out and she left her phone out on the table, like open. And that guy texted her a message and it was about us. She was talking to him about our relationship and the problems we were going through. So obviously, like, I saw that and I told her, like, let me see your phone. Let me see the messages because that's unacceptable. You shouldn't be talking to other people of the opposite sex about the problems that are going on in your relationship. So she opens the phone and I'm scrolling through it and I also saw like past text messages from before I was dating her. Like we weren't together at the time. This was like way before. But I saw text messages of her and that guy like talking about their feelings and how they liked each other and how they had gone on a few dates. So she told me that this guy was just a friend, but clearly that wasn't the case. And the lesson from that moment is just like, bro, if a girl has guy friends, most of the time, it's a guy who she had been with in the past or a guy who has feelings for her. Now, a lot of people in the modern day will say, oh, men and women can be friends and there's nothing wrong with that. But just be honest with yourself, bro. Like, if we don't care what society thinks and we're just saying what we would want as men, obviously, you wouldn't want your girl talking to other guys while you're in a relationship. Because no matter how much we can say in the modern day, oh yeah, men and women can just be friends, it's not a big deal, there's always going to be a level of attraction, right? That's just psychology. That's just how it works, right? Men and women are hardwired to want to be with each other. So platonic friendships between men and women aren't really possible unless there aren't those feelings, unless there is no attraction. And 99% of the time, if the guy had the opportunity to get with the girl, he would. So platonic male-female friendships are very rare, right? Unless both people aren't attracted to each other at all, then okay, fair enough. I could see how that could work, but that's very often not the case. So the overarching theme, right, from these experiences is don't overlook red flags. If you start to see stuff come up, trust your gut instinct. Listen to it. Because something that I think a lot of us don't realize is that that gut instinct is something that humans have developed over millions of years of evolution. And it's there to tell you when something's wrong. But if you get caught up in the honeymoon and in all the lovey-dovey stuff and you ignore it, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Now, here's the deal, okay? Everyone might have a red flag or two, right? Nobody's perfect. I'm not saying you got to find a girl who's perfect. But these major red flags, you should not overlook. You should be very critical of them and hold yourself to a high standard, right? If a girl isn't the type of person that you would want as a partner, if you see like long-term red flags, just move on and go find somebody else, because you should never ever settle. You should always set a high standard, know what you're looking for, and go for that. Number 2, never ever lose yourself. So the biggest mistake I made in this relationship, or one of the biggest mistakes I made, was losing my progress with all the self-improvement stuff I was doing. So when I first got in a relationship with this girl, at the start, right, I was going to the gym, I was being disciplined, I was studying hard on my schoolwork, I was only seeing her like 1 to 2 times a week, so I was maintaining the mystery, everything was going very well. Then all of a sudden we got in a relationship and I got way too comfortable. I started sleeping in all the time, started seeing her we literally lived together pretty much for 4 months, like in her college dorm. Then I stopped going to the gym, started eating unhealthy food all the time, just started completely falling off and not being the person that I was at the start of the relationship. And because of that, my fitness took a huge hit, my confidence took a huge hit, my social life also took a huge hit. I stopped hanging out with all the friends who I hung out with before the relationship and only started spending time with her. So at the start of the relationship, I was this in shape, confident, mysterious, high value guy. Then over time, right, I lost that. And then eventually I started to notice that our relationship started to kind of lose a lot of that desire that was there at the start. And I think the biggest reason was because we kind of lost that mysteriousness, right? And I lost myself. Now, as much as we might want to say, well, your girl should always love you no matter what. Oh, here's the deal, bro. When you get in a relationship with a girl, she's falling in love with that best version of you. That's the version of you that she fell in love with. So you have to keep being that best version of yourself. You owe that not only to her, but to yourself. I mean, what kind of guy gets complacent when he gets in a relationship? Well, it's the type of guy who says, oh yeah, I just want a relationship and then I can relax. Oh, once I get the girl, then I'll be able to relax. But you should not have the relationship as the end goal. Getting the girl is not the end goal. Getting the girl is just the start. But when you see the relationship as the end goal, that's what causes you to get complacent. So the mindset you got to have with these things is, just because I get the girl doesn't mean I stop going to the gym. It doesn't mean I stop being my best self. It doesn't mean that I lose focus. You actually think to yourself, now that I have the girl, that should motivate me to be even better, to keep improving, to keep being my best self. And are you going to be perfect? No, of course not. You're going to have moments where you slip up. You're going to have moments where you struggle. But it's all about when you notice that complacency starting to hit in and you're starting to kind of lose that edge. You just refocus and you keep being that best version of yourself. And also have another purpose, right? Have other goals you're working towards, right? Maybe you want to make it big in a sport, or you want to start a business. You want to pursue a career that you really like. Because when women are the only thing you're focused on in life, and then you get the girl, well, then you have no other goals. You have nothing to really no other star to align yourself to. But when you have other goals, you have other things that keep you motivated, you're not going to get complacent because you have big goals. And that's so important with being a man. Having goals, having things you're working towards, having purpose. And if you do that, I guarantee you, you won't lose yourself in a relationship. But you got to keep that focus. You got to keep working hard and keep being that best version of yourself, because that's what she wants out of you. Number 3, don't kill the trust. So this was by far the biggest mistake I made in the relationship. Obviously, like the start of the video, I was talking about the mistakes that she made and kind of some things I overlooked. But you know, I got to take accountability where I messed up, because I made some huge mistakes in this relationship as well, and was just as much the reason it didn't work out. So there was this one night, it was Halloween, and we had been kind of going through some problems for the kind of past few weeks, struggling with some things, so tension was pretty high. And so she showed up to the party, and I could tell like she was, you know, fairly drunk, couldn't really stand up straight. So I told her like, hey, you know, we gotta go, like we gotta leave, and you know, because I don't think you're good to be here. Like she was falling over, stumbling all the time, and like one, that's, you know, not a good look for me. Like I don't want my girlfriend to be like stumbling all over the place. And number 2, it's just like not safe for her. Like what if she falls over and hits her head, or like something bad happens, right? I wanted to get her home so she could like drink water and get some food and just feel better. Then we ended up walking out and having a conversation. Oh, like, I don't know why you're being so controlling. Oh, I don't know why you're, you know, doing all these things. And she got, you know, very angry and just stormed off. So I started walking with her, and she opened up her phone, started like texting her friends, and was like, I'm just gonna leave and I'm just gonna go home, and like we'll just see each other tomorrow, whatever. So we get back, I take her to her friend's place she wanted to be at, and I ended up making by far the biggest mistake I made here. I opened up her phone and started like looking through her text messages with her friends, because I had a gut instinct something was wrong, okay? And I'm not saying you should do this. I think that's a mistake. You should trust your partner. But I opened up her phone, started looking through the messages, and I saw that like she was sending messages like a couple minutes prior about her wanting to break up with me or end the relationship because she was frustrated and felt like she couldn't trust me. So what I did is I went on her phone and I like deleted the messages, because I was like, oh yeah, like if she doesn't, you know, she's not gonna remember this in the morning, whatever. Then the next day, right, all is good. Like she didn't remember it, but she goes and talks to her friend who she texted that, and her friend, I guess, was like, yeah, you texted me this message, like, do you want to talk about this? So then her friend tells her, you know, about these messages. She finds out I deleted them. She comes and talks to me and talks about how like, you know, oh, like this is so unacceptable. Like you completely broke our trust. You can't do that. And honestly, bro, like as much as the situation sucked and as much as it hurt, like I was 100% in the wrong there. Like you should not try to mask things or lie or be manipulative. You can never ever lie to the girl that you're with or do those types of things. Because a lesson I've learned is that trust takes a very long time to build up. It's very hard to build trust with someone, right? It takes weeks, months, even years of doing the right things and having a good reputation and being a man of your word. But trust is also very quick to break, right? One bad incident, one lie, one moment where you do something that's dishonest, and that trust can be fractured forever. So the lesson from this moment is you just have to focus on maintaining that trust, right? And as much as maybe like you might do something where you mess up, or there might be something going on that you don't like, you just have to be honest about it. You just have to realize like, fuck, you know, I fucked up, I messed up, but just come clean about it and just say, hey, you know, I did this and it is what it is. Because while, yeah, sometimes facing problems in relationships and challenges, it's going to hurt a bit. It's going to be hard. But it's never going to be as bad as the repercussions that'll come from if you lie about something or if you're being dishonest. Because the problems that causes are almost unfixable. You really can't fix them. So you just have to be honest, be upfront. When you fuck up, come clean about it. Just be honest and don't lose that trust and really focus on building it up, because that's very important. And that was by far the biggest mistake that I made in this relationship. Which leads me into number 4. don't lose your masculine frame. A couple days after this moment, right, we're already having relationship tension. Things aren't going very well. She has a talk with me where she says, I think we got to take a break for a little bit. I think we got to take a few days where we don't see each other so I can really process our relationship and like really think if it's right for me. So what should I have done in this moment? Well, I should have just said like, okay, it is what it is. Like, if you don't want to be with me, whatever, I'll just move on and go find someone else, right? That would have been like the logical kind of masculine way to go about it. But what I did instead is I freaking broke down and just started crying about it, started, complaining, oh, like, well, why would you want to leave me? Like, no, you don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, like, this is so bad. And that just made me look like such a little bitch, okay? I think you should be able to voice your concerns with a girl in like a logical and emotionally centered way. But you never want to lose your masculine frame. You never want to let a girl think that if she leaves you, you're going to be completely crushed. Because then you lost all of the power in the relationship. And you just look weak. So if a girl doesn't want to be with you, right, just shrug it off, okay? Like, whatever. Have the mindset that that's her loss. If she doesn't want to be with me, whatever, we'll just go our separate ways and I'll go find somebody else. Because that shows that, right, you're a man of value. It's all about maintaining an abundance mentality, right? I talk a lot about having an abundance mentality when you're single, right? When you're going on dates and seeing girls, keeping an abundance mindset, not getting so caught up in the girl. Because that'll help you be more attractive because you're not so worried about losing her. You're not in a place of scarcity. But bro, this mindset, it doesn't disappear when you get in a relationship. Yeah, she might be your girlfriend, so you should be obviously committed to her and like not talking to other girls. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, you should have the mindset that even if she wants to leave me, right? If this relationship doesn't work out, I'll be completely fine. I'll be all good. Like, I'm a high value dude. I'm a good dude. And then you won't be so worried. It won't cause you to do these stupid ass things where you start getting worried or you're crying about things. Because women want to feel confident in your relationship. And it all starts with the tone that you set yourself. If you're not confident in things, if you don't have an abundance mindset, she will start to doubt you as well. So it's all about maintaining that frame, staying in your masculine frame, and just being that best version of yourself. So yeah, I hope that this video helped you out and kind of like, it was a pretty personal video for me to make, honestly. I haven't really told a lot of these stories on here before, but I just wanted to get it out and talk about it. And obviously, like, this video was kind of going over negatives because that's just how it works when you talk about a breakup. You're going to talk more about the negatives than the positives, but also like, certainly a lot of positives did come out of this relationship. And like, I don't have any hard feelings or anything with this girl. I don't have anything against her, right? It's just like, because I made a lot of mistakes as well. And I had a lot of things that I had to learn, a lot of areas where I fucked up and struggled too. So it's nothing against her, right? I fucked up a lot too, made a lot of mistakes, but I just wanted to talk about these things, right? So you can learn from them. You don't make the same mistakes and, you can be a better man. And I hope that I learn from these lessons and I hope that I can continue to be better and, kind of keep being my best self in the relationship that I'm currently in. So yeah, if you found this video helped, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so more young men can see this video and hopefully it can help them improve their lives and be a better version of themselves. So yeah, I'll see you for the next video, bro.